It's your destiny to greatness with Dr. C and Brothers Keeper. Today, where we've been, where we're going, and Friday trivia. And now, here are Dr. C and Brothers Keeper.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Your Destiny to Greatness. Dr. C here, and I'm excited that you decided to tune in. Hey.
Yes, I'm excited also. This is Brothers Keeper.
Yes, exactly. And that's a good thing, to have a brother's or sister's keeper.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be with you today as well.
Yes, I'm looking forward to having a good time.
Yes, as usual. So, Brothers Keeper, today, let's talk for a little while about together forever.
Yes, and unfortunately, many people think together forever will be meshed forever, and many times the forever kind of fades away.
Well, that's true. And I remember years ago, and it was something that we used to write, and it actually added up. Together forever, to love one another nonstop. But at that particular point, you know, you moved and shifted, and your forever person went on away.
Well, unfortunately, when we're thinking like that, we haven't lived as much life as we should have yet to be making those broad statements.
I know. It was so cute, though.
Yes. But when life starts to come around and you start to become aware
Yes.
of the trials and the toils of life, then all of a sudden reality will kick in.
Right, exactly. And even aware of self. So that's what we want to get into today. Talking about together forever. Maybe you're with your forever or not, but I believe that you'll be able to identify with some things that we're going to put out on the table. So you stay right there. We promise we will be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the subject together forever. And although it's really broad, but we're going to focus on a few segments that touches me, and I'm sure touches you as well, because Brothers Keeper, many of us have the desire to be with someone together forever, but it just did not pan out that way.
Yeah, they're looking for that wholeness, being one. And believe it or not, sometimes when it doesn't happen that way, it puts some people in a tailspin because they don't know what it is to just be themselves by themselves.
Exactly. So when that happens, many times this tailspin that you're talking about, the experience can be traumatic, but it can also reflect that we're not as comfortable within ourselves as well.
Using that person was the measuring stick for who they felt they were on the inside.
Yes.
And without that person there, they don't know how to identify with who they really are.
Well, sure. And it can be a voluntary separation sometimes when you just grow apart and everyone is okay, well, we just need to move. We've outlived this particular relationship, but often, more times than not, it's involuntary. And that's the reason why that hurt, when that nasty breakup and you've trusted and confided in this person, and then you find out it's not all of what it was cracked up to be.
And many times, what comes into play is you feel helpless because there are many things that you felt like you was in control of. Then once the covers got pulled off, it was out of control all the time, but you either didn't want to see it or you just didn't see it.
Right, exactly. Because one thing that I was told years ago, that people show us who they are. We don't have to worry about what they're telling. We just
Sooner
have to
or later.
believe what we're seeing.
Mhm.
And many times we won't believe that. Oh, well.
Yeah, make excuses.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're putting their blinders on.
Oh,
Because they may have seen some things that they didn't want to come to terms with.
right.
So they put the blinders on. Or they think that they can change them.
That's right.
I won't look at this particular less than prudent act and I'll keep working at them and they'll get better.
But we're only in control of us.
Yes.
What we do to improve.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make you, or I can't force you to change to fit a mold that I would like for you to be in.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. And that's a time waster.
Yes. And that's why they often said, be not unequally yoked.
Exactly.
And many times they go into it running on emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And as they say, they haven't done their homework.
Right. Yes. Because I'm telling you what I said in that particular situation. Most people, if you're too young, you might not know about Paul Harvey, but
Yeah.
Paul Harvey used to give
The rest
of the story. I said he didn't give me the rest of the story when I was hooked up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh Lord, I did not know X, Y, and Z. So, my gosh, and you talk about when you are matched, or when you match yourself with someone who you're really not supposed to be with, that can be turbulent.
Mm-hmm.
A roller coaster that I'm not fond of.
And you're talking about together forever.
Mm-hmm.
And many times, our pride will cause us, we'll use pride as the glue to try to keep that broken togetherness together
Yeah.
instead of letting it go because you don't want others to know that it didn't
That's
work.
what I wanted you to get to, exactly. We're thinking about what somebody else
Mm-hmm.
will say, and sometimes it could be family members or friends, because we have created this facade that
Yes.
everything is perfect, but we don't have to be perfect.
No.
Because when you're hurting, you're hurting. If things are not going right, they're not going right, and we need to do a little bit better.
Yes,
We do.
yes. And it starts with the individual.
Yes.
And I was talking to a lady, and she was going to church, and she couldn't understand why when she came home to tell her husband about it. She wanted that togetherness.
Right.
And I guess she wants it to be forever.
Yeah.
That oneness, they both go to church together. Well, when she came home, she would get upset because he felt like what she was talking about, he didn't want to hear it. So I said, well, let's look at it another way. If you're confessing and professing to him how great a time you're having in church, as soon as you hit the door, you're on his back. I said, what is that projecting to him?
Right.
He's saying, well, if that's what you're getting, I don't want no parts of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so much to this together and forever. And there are people who stay together forever. And I mean, the love is beautiful. Not that everything is perfect.
Yeah.
So we know that it's possible.
Yes.
And then if it's not, or if it hadn't happened, then sometimes we kind of need to look and see if we were on the right path from the begin with.
And a lot of times, like you said, it'd be a rocky road, but they're still together
Yes.
because they were willing to work at it.
Work at it.
Yeah.
And many people who find themselves in bliss 40 and 50 years later, they trusted in the Lord.
Yes.
Because, oh my goodness, you're talking when you have, I don't care whether you're equally or unequally, when you come together, you have two different people, two different personalities, each wanting something.
Individuals.
But when you are matched up right, equally yoked, as you said, and you trust in the Lord, He helps tremendously to be able to make it through.
Yeah, mold us into that one. And I've seen some couples want to start the sentence and the partner would finish it.
I know.
Because they've been around each other so long, then they got that together and that forever mindset. Come hell or high water, we're going to be together, and we're going to do this together.
Yes.
Through thick and thin.
Right, exactly. And see, it's that thin part.
Yes.
I mean, we thin out so fast when troubles come. We don't have any stick-to-itness. So that's what we need. But together, we're together. We've been together for a long time, even before on this particular show. And it takes respect and trust. So just a little bit more. But think about your together forever. Sometimes you're with somebody and you may not even know that you're with them, and we want to talk on that too. We'll be back. Yes. So before the break, I mentioned that sometimes you may be with somebody and you might not even realize it. Well, maybe I'll say someone is with you, and that someone is Jesus. No matter how good or bad other relationships are or have been, Jesus is there. And I know I'm glad because he's helped me to keep my mind straight when the forever didn't work.
Yes, and many times without Jesus, we'll fall off the path too. And with him, we can have that sense of feeling like we can accomplish anything, and we have that stick-to-itness, and we can keep moving forward.
Yes, exactly. Well, you can also, one thing I love about Jesus, no matter how I'm feeling, I can go to him exactly how I'm feeling. I don't have to pretend. So if I need to cry and kick for a bit, then I can do that with him. And I'm thinking that many people who are stuck in relationships that they shouldn't be stuck in, or they're bitter because a relationship has ended, is because they haven't had that time for that inner healing. You can't do it for me, but Jesus can. You can say all the nicest thing, well, Dr. C, it's going to be okay, and I believe you. But it doesn't penetrate and heal that heart the way that Jesus can.
And sometimes we all need to understand that we need that secret closet to be able to go and, as you say, cry if you need to cry. You know, talk to Jesus about it. And sometimes you'll get an answer that you may not want to hear, but at least it's an honest answer.
Right. And you'll also know that you are okay.
Yes.
You're perfectly made without someone else being attached to you. Now, yes, all that is good when you're right, but there comes a time in most people's lives when you experience some separation, whether you wanted to be separated or not. But just having Jesus to let you know that you're worth it, and you don't have to jump right into that next probably bad relationship because you're not secure within yourself.
Yes, and as you were saying before about that together forever, and you have God our Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that togetherness is forever. And if we could use that as a blueprint for us,
as our example,
and we can develop our mind, body, and soul, and we can have our togetherness, and maybe the next time when we try to get yoked up, we'll have a better look.
Oh, I know that's right.
To see what's coming our way than going into it as blindly as we did maybe the first time.
Yes, indeed, because we'll have more respect for Jesus.
Yes.
And then for ourselves, because I don't want to do anything to hurt him or embarrass the Lord. So therefore, any relationship that I enter in after learning all of this, then it has to be on his particular level and to his standards. When I was thinking about all of this, two scriptures actually came to mind. In Deuteronomy 31:6, where it says, "Be strong and of good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So even if I might be feeling by myself or a little alone, if I focus on this particular word, then I'll know that he's there no matter what.
The comfort is still there with us. Whether at the time that we can feel it or not, he's still there.
He's still there.
And him being there with us has nothing to do with our feelings.
Right. Thank God.
You know what I mean? He's there regardless. And once we go through our process and turn it over to him, then we can begin to understand and feel his presence.
Right. And when you said just a couple seconds ago that he's always there, whether or not we are focused or in tune to him, and that's true. It kind of took my mind back to the poem Footprints.
Yes.
I started visualizing like the picture that's usually with that, but it took me back to that. When there's just one
Set of footprints.
set of footprints, that's Jesus carrying me. I feel special. I feel really special. And he'll do the same for you. You may be in a point in time in your life where you're thinking you're all alone or you're not worthy, but Jesus is saying, let me pick you up, my child, and carry you until you're able to stand on your own 2 feet again.
And as we started to show out, talking about together forever, and as you stated before, he'll never leave us.
Never.
We may sidetrack and ditch off somewhere.
Exactly.
But he's always there with that togetherness for us forever.
Yes. And that's such a beautiful feeling. So I could actually go back to that little childish thing we used to write, together forever to love one another. Me and Jesus, nonstop.
Yes.
You and Jesus. He's always there. And just knowing that he's there always. Probably verse 20 of Matthew and 28, where it says, "Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world." There's nowhere I can go, nothing I can do where I can't get a hold of Jesus.
That's that together forever.
Yeah, because once you accept him, then he lives on the inside. So whether I'm speaking out like I'm speaking to you or just speaking out inside of my heart, he's right there. Wow.
Ain't that wonderful?
It is.
Wonderful.
It is. Just makes me feel all warm.
And now that we're speaking on it, maybe some of you out there will be able to see that you weren't alone as long as you thought you were. You may have been alone naturally,
Right.
but spiritually, he's always there.
That's right. So, together forever. We know that we can have that together forever, definitely with Jesus. And if it be his will, that special person is there for you as well. So don't compromise. Do not compromise. And keep your mind focused on Jesus always being there. When we come back, Brothers Keeper is going to enlighten us on where we need to go into this word to study for Friday trivia question. We'll see you soon.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
And it's Friday Trivia. Isn't it wonderful that we have so many examples in the Bible to help us understand the subject matter of whatever Dr. C and I are discussing at the moment? And we're talking about together forever.
Yeah.
And we spoke earlier about sometimes we think we're together forever and sometimes it don't happen.
That's true.
Well, Jesus had his disciples. Looking at it from the outside, you would think they'd be together forever. And my question today is, how much was Judas paid to betray Jesus?
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Judas got some money.
Yes. And the sad part is, if I can go a little further, it wasn't even worth what he thought it was. He ended up not even having the money when it was all said and done.
Well, it never is worth us selling out.
Yeah, betraying
Jesus.
someone. Yeah.
It's never worth it. But Brother's Keeper asked us a good question, and when you're going in to get your answer, you may see something else that will help you
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
these trivia questions, I just believe that they're good, and the purpose helps us to just get a little closer to Jesus and to each other.
Yes.
So get your answers in. Email them in by 11:59
PM.
tonight, okay? And you can email your answers to your.destinytogreatness@gmail.com. We're waiting. Have wealth and beauty. Have wealth and beauty.
If you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, why pray? Whether it's health, wealth, or beauty that you desire, trust God for all your needs and desires. Obey His command and you'll be able to receive great things. You'll be able to do great things. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God. Don't worry, just pray and God will keep you in perfect peace.
It's just me thinking again. You know, I've been thinking about some of the things, the wise advice that I got from the elderly. I got a sweet aunt who once told me to stop concentrating so much on what I'm eating and concentrate a little more on what's eating me. You know, I pondered on it for a second, and then I realized that many of us have deep-rooted things that are going on that stem from things that happened to us in our past. And if we never go back and address those issues, they'll just eat at us and eat at us. And it'll affect everything that we do. So those things that are eating at us are not just eating at us, they're eating at our future. And anything that goes with our future, and anybody around us that's going with us to our future. So if you want to run to your destiny, take a moment to go back. Invest in fixing what's wrong in the past. You can't change it, but you can fix your heart, your mind, and your soul. So you can be where you need to be now. It's just me thinking again. We are destined for greatness.
Today is your day to shine so bright that those who see you will want to put sunglasses on. Why is it your day? It's your day because God wants you to succeed. He wants you to do His will and do it His way. You can do it. I don't care what someone else has said about you or to you. Push that to the side. Not always easy, but you can. So look within yourself, trust the Lord, and walk towards your destiny and success.
We are destined for greatness.